Welcome to the Express Podcast with your host, Dansby Swanson. My two lifelong best friends, Mason Howells and Mitchell Lancaster, are a part of this and will provide all the humor and insight you'll ever need. We're in the process of rebranding our podcast with conversations involving all things sports, health, life, self-improvement, and guest interviews. We can't wait for y'all to embark on this journey with us. Enjoy. Welcome, everybody, to the Express Podcast. We have put out episodes in the past, but we are doing a little bit of rebranding. I am now the host. My name is Dansby Swanson. For those of you who don't know, I play shortstop for the Chicago Cubs, and these are my two best friends. Introduce yourselves.
Mitch.
Mason.
Here.
And the whole goal of this podcast is more or less just to, self-improvement, talk about sports, talk about all things current, have different guests and do interviews to be able to just show different perspectives on life and how everyone can, evolve and get better. So that's what we're trying to do, and we're just blessed to be able to do it as family.
Yeah, I would say if you had listened to our stuff before, which a lot of you will, as we make this kind of like rebranding, it's going to be basically the exact same thing. It's just going to be like through Dansby. So yeah, it's going to be better. Yeah. We're just going to try to offer you a lot more content. We've been saying that in the past of like, hey, we're going to figure it out. And we were. It was like a trial and error type thing. And then obviously, as you know, with Dan's moved to Chicago, and then we've all kind of had a busy last 2 years.
It's a new year, new us.
Yeah, new year, new us. But we're going to be just basically trying to provide you guys the best content possible and do it in a way that, everyone can kind of get something from that. And then you all also, I would say, they get to see more of us and who we are and kind of the shenanigans that goes on with our little crew.
Facts. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah,
we're a lot more YouTube footage.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more YouTube, day in the life stuff, types of stuff. We got some stuff coming out with just some of Dansby's like off-season training and stuff like that, and some podcasts and stuff to go with it. So it's just kind of a lot wrapped into one. But
yeah, and for me, I've just felt more of a calling from the man upstairs to do more stuff like this, because we obviously enjoy doing this stuff and providing insight and knowledge into whatever it may be. Like we've done the book in the past, we've had different interviews and different guests on, but just felt like, my platform is such a good one to be able to, whether it's bless other people or to just spread kind of knowledge and things that I've gone through in life or that, we've all gone through together, and just trying to bring that to you guys. So we're obviously open for suggestions of anything that you guys want to see, but I've never been one to really, just kind of like open up my life for other people to see. I keep a close circle, but trying to just provide a little bit more content, like you said, of whether that's us going golfing, whether that's me hitting with, my personal hitting guy, whether that's workouts, whatever it may be, just trying to give you guys some, inside footage of my life and how I got here and how I want to stay here and continue moving forward. And no better people to do it with than, my two best friends, the ride or die, since we've been
tagging along.
We've been little kids.
Yeah,
so.
And I think it's going to be cool too to kind of see just a little bit of your day to day, because I think people hear, professional athlete or, MLB, and they have a certain idea of what, goes into your everyday life, but then like actually seeing what you do day to day and just literally trying to play every game possible and be as productive as possible. Like there's a lot that goes into that. And so for anyone who is just interested or even trying to get to that level, I think it's just very interesting to see just your route to success, honestly. And yeah, I would say you opening up yourself in this avenue to have people have more insight, like that's a big jump for you specifically. You're more of a...
I've never been like a look at me, look at what I'm doing.
No, that's not what we're trying to do. You're more of a head down, let's work type of guy. And we're just kind of, allowing people to see that body of work without, our intention is not, hey, look at Dansby, look at all the stuff he does. It's more of people are just interested in this kind of stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, so I guess this is the intro episode to the new rebrand.
Any quick life updates, young Meech?
When was our last update?
I don't know, but go ahead and give another one, brother.
Nah, I'm chilling. Just working, and y'all the ones with big updates. I'm just out here.
Not me. I'm doing the same thing.
Dad life.
Yeah, I'm being a dad.
Dad life, content
I'd say
life.
That's a big update.
Yep. So
continued update.
Yeah.
Mine, yeah. Chicago, obviously. I think we've talked about that
When was
before.
the last time we recorded? Your Mac was like,
I think he was just
11
born.
days?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have been just born. He's almost 5 months now,
Yeah, see,
which is
we're out here.
crazy. He's like
Updates.
Yeah, it's like a full on human being now.
Yeah.
It's insane to watch that progression. But
No, I think one thing that's funny that I've run into a lot recently is when people see me here in Atlanta, they're like, "What are you doing
why are
here?
you
Like,
here?"
why are you here?" And I'm like, "Well, like I
Sell
play in
out.
Chicago, but like I live here. Like this is my home. You know, like
Yeah.
this is where I live. This is where I want to be. You know, and have a family and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm here. So if you see me, don't be surprised. We're here until the season gets going again. So."
yeah, it's always nice, I guess, when the season's kind of over and then you take your little break and then you return. It's like, oh yeah, we can
but
drive.
this dude Dansby be traveling
He really is a
more
world
in
traveler.
off season, bro.
I know.
We try not to, bro. Every time I'm telling me and Mal, we're like let's chill on the travel, this and that, and the next thing you know, like
Going
if you
here.
count down weekends, like all right, we have 14 weekends in the off season. Like we're literally gone for at least 8 of them.
I know.
It's crazy. Like we were talking about trying to get some of this stuff going for y'all, and it's like all right, well let's have a work day, and I'm like I'm out of town. Like where are you going? Well, we're going to we got a family gathering
yeah.
here, and then
Yeah.
we're going out to Denver for Thanksgiving, and then going hunting for a week, and then you're just bouncing
Holidays.
around, yeah, all this kind of stuff. But no, we're going to make a really concerted effort. It's one thing that I think like I said, God's put on my heart just to like do this stuff on a regular basis, because in the off season you just have so much more time and energy. But now kind of taking a little bit more on my shoulders and having some ownership over this whole thing and hosting this and running this and
Yeah, well, I think too, we're going to try to bring them some content during the season too.
right.
Even though that is and that'll be more me and Mitchell type thing because it's just such a grind for you.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely,
I feel like it'll
trips to
set up
Chicago.
good like interviews, trips to Chicago.
Yeah.
Spring training. I feel like we're going to have some good stuff for spring for y'all. So
I would have.
I turned
Spring
I turned
training's the
30 this
best.
year.
You turned 30 this year.
I turned 30 in
Me and Mitchell
February.
are
We haven't
30.
been to a spring training in Arizona. So.
We've not been to spring training in Arizona. I wish we were doing this though. When we went up to Chicago and I was recording when the parking lot thing ate my credit card.
Oh,
Dude, that's the type of content people need to see because
That
Mitchell's
being-
face was freaking out. He's like, dude, it's gone. I'm like, what do you mean it's gone? He's like, it's not.
the card is literally gone, and it was like halfway in, and I was like, bro, it's not taking it. And
He's like, give me another
push that-
card. Tried to push it in. It got stuck, and then I just hit
the
him with
Amex almost bit the
Oh
dust.
boy.
The Amex almost bit the dust.
But
Onwards
it's
and
just-
upwards.
I'd say the last thing though, just in this episode is like, so we're trying to bring you guys a bunch of different content, whether that's for YouTube or podcasts with interviews of whether that's teammates of mine, friends of mine in the athlete world, my trainer, hitting instructor, like you name it. We're trying to bring all these different types of people on, people I work with, people that I know, have gotten to know over the years, friends, parents. I know we've talked about that in the past. Just getting anybody and everybody that's got insight into what it takes to live a great life and improve upon yourself and just give you really interesting conversation, you know,
Some
and
mistakes to avoid.
yeah. So
Do you want to give them, for our new listeners, maybe a little background on how the Express name kind of originated and just like our friendship? I think, it's interesting as I'm like doing the analytics of the podcast. Like a lot of people don't really start on episode 1. So I've had like people come up to me and they're like, y'all named after a train? Like why? Like what's up with that? And so I don't know if y'all want to touch
low-key,
on that.
though.
We are, but I just,
Low-key,
don't know if you want to touch on that as like a final little wrap up for this episode.
give the history.
You want me to do it? Or
No, Young Meech.
Back in 2000,
2000.
2000, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were what, 7?
6, 7.
6, 7, yeah.
We all got placed on the same all-star team over at Adams Park in Kennesaw, Georgia. I think the banners
Pre-travel ball.
fly forever.
Mm-hmm.
They're still on the fence somewhere around that park. You can
Yeah.
see Mason Howes, Mitchell Lancaster, and Dansby Swanson as some Dizzy Dean champions. And the name of that team was the Kennesaw Express.
Yep.
Double entendre, if you will. Because on the podcast, we are trying to express ourselves, express good ways of living, kind of just all the stuff that we're trying to do. So it kind of works in both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
All right, we'll see y'all back for the first episode.
yep. See you.
The Express.